Hello everyone, it's History Behind the Warrior, and welcome back to a long-awaited History of episode. Jesus, I haven't done one of these in a while. With that said, unlike previous and prior episodes on the channel, where I do talk about the lore and history of a character's background, today we're actually going to be touching and exploring a character that I've never talked about on the channel before, the mysterious pink male ninja of the series, Floyd. Now, there is a large likelihood that you've never heard of Floyd or even see him. And that's largely due to the fact that he's a very peculiar case within the MK mythos. And kind of not. Having become a bit of a cult fan favourite over the last few years, like Hydro or Crow. And this is further reinforced by the fact that he's yet to actually grace the series as an official character. But honestly, you wouldn't really think about it considering the amount of news that has been circulating around him the last few weeks. So to truly understand the mysterious case of Floyd, his creation, absence, as well as possible erasure from the series, let's go back to where it all started, during the age and era of Mortal Kombat 11. Now, the idea of a pink male ninja to the series all derives from a quick fire question interview from Game Informer with Ed Boon, where he was of course asked the question of, if you came up with a new ninja, what color would it be? To which Ed would respond with the color of pink. For those of you who don't know and are relatively fresh fans to the series, the original ninja designs dating all the way back to the first 3 MKs were all color palette swaps. As one, it served as a very quick way to save money, and 2, it essentially served as a way to distinguish each ninja from each other, allowing them to have their own name, character, and identity despite looking relatively the same. So the color swap phenomenon isn't anything inherently new to the series, but the idea of a new ninja is understandably something that stirred the fanbase, as they are a beloved faction to the series. Plus, during the NetherRealm era, the team were known for interjecting newer ninjas to the reboot, such as the Blood Ninja Scarlet, as well as give Tremor a facelift, with both of these new ninjas being received really well. So hearing word of another ninja naturally stirred up many theories as to who and what it could be about. Because when it came to ninjas in MK, a lot of them have male and female counterparts. Scarlet has Ermac, Sub-Zero has Kitana, but Melina didn't quite have that. Thus again, the theory pot began to stir as to who this could be. It wouldn't be up until 2022 on Twitter, where when Ed was asked about creating a new ninja, he would reply with, yes, I honestly want to make a pink ninja and name him Floyd. No kidding. Now, I know to some, and well, Ed Boon being Ed Boon, this of course could be interpreted as a joke or a troll, even with the warning in sight, because the idea of a pink male ninja named Floyd is kind of out there, breaking the more traditional code names associated with ninjas. But of course, there is a hidden meaning behind this choice. Now, keep in mind this may be a bit before some of your time. Also, please for the love of God, listen to Dark Side of the Moon. But the reference and Easter egg itself is designed to be a homage to artist and musician Pink Floyd. So there is purpose behind this rather strange naming convention. And we also got to take into mind that this wouldn't be the first Mortal Kombat ninja that is named and influenced by a musician, as the same creative decision and design choice would be applied to Rain, being in reference to the artist known as Prince in homage to that of Purple Rain. Of course now though, it brings up the question of, why has Ed purposely decided to go for the color of pink? Well, outside of the obvious homage to Pink Floyd, when you think about it, it's just kind of a simple case of process of elimination here. Each of these ninjas already kind of represent a different color on the spectrum, all except pink. So naturally, this was the last possible choice for them. So after all of this chatter and news of Floyd over the last few years, what has become of him? Did he make it into MK1? Well, yeah, kind of. It's really weird. Now, despite having not been part of the initial base roster, when we open up the contents of the data mined files, we can in fact see one PNG render of him as a classic Lin Kuei cyborg, titled Cybersmoke_Pink. Now, you could say, well, this doesn't confirm Floyd, to which I would 100% agree. But when we look at the other cyborgs in the same file, they are also all color coded here, not referenced to as Smoke, Cyrax, nor Sector. And we would later learn where we currently are now, that these assets were simply here to be part of combo trials in Invasions. But let's look a little deeper under the hood, because we can actually find files for Floyd in game, but see that he's completely absent of a game model, and that of an original moveset, with his toolkit at the time reflecting that of Chameleon. So on paper, it looked like it was only a matter of time before Floyd became playable, right? Well, sadly, the future of Floyd arriving anytime soon looks to be quite bleak, because it would be revealed a few weeks ago that the file containing Floyd is now completely gone. And with current news circulating around of MK1's lifespan being cut short, it definitely did not feel like a coincidence why that file was deleted. Of course, this does now entail the question of, was Floyd initially supposed to be part of some kind of Kombats pack? I don't necessarily think so. Because coming off the reveal of Chaos Reigns, Ed Boon did foreshadow and toy with the idea that Mortal Kombat 1 would have its own secret fight with a new ninja, having Floyd effectively serve as this generation's Reptile, who was the first original secret fighter in the first MK1. But with all of these changes and alterations, I don't think we'll be seeing Floyd again anytime soon. So with the character's developmental hell being covered, what do we have here of Floyd in terms of story, lore, and narrative? Well, I'ma be real with you. We officially got nothing, and that's largely due to the fact that the idea of Floyd was more or less solidified in 2022, and with him not making the base game nor DLC for MK1, Floyd is honestly still currently an idea. He is by all intents and purposes in his creative infancy. So in terms of canonization, what he's done and what he's about to get up to, we simply don't know. In fact, the most we've ever gotten of Floyd since his mention has been more community inputs than anything else, as many believe him to possess photokinesis, the ability to control plants, which I will say I do think is rather complimentary of his overall design, as it does go hand in hand with his color palette. Unfortunately, as information and overall knowledge goes for Floyd, this does cover every single tidbit and cranny surrounding him. And I must say, I would actually be very interested to see him enter the series, especially considering what NetherRealm has been able to do with Scarlet and Tremor. I think it'd be awesome to see yet another original ninja. Plus, outside of Cetrion, we don't really have anyone else in the series that directly controls plants. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows though, because it's my personal opinion that the name Floyd doesn't really stick. Whilst I, definitely get the joke of Pink Floyd, I don't know if I'm too keen on the naming convention and design. It works for Rain because it kinda functions as a code name. It doesn't have the same resonance as a Reptile or a Sub-Zero, and I would say that's arguably my biggest issue with this naming convention. I don't know, it may actually simply be a case of, I may need a face or a design that matches up to the name, but right now by itself, I don't think it's that amazing. And in terms of abilities, whilst I do think photokinesis is pretty neat, I wouldn't mind something a little bit more crazy and unique. Like if I'm gonna put on my Warhammer cap for a second here, I wouldn't mind them pulling some influence from the Emperor's Children, as they both utilize the same color palette of a royal purple and pink, but these colors are designed to represent endless excess, to overstimulate and overload the senses through smell, taste, touch, and sight. And since, Floyd is supposed to be a homage to Pink Floyd, this is a pretty easy gateway to utilize sound. Again, this is just a simple idea on my part, but I tend to find that each Mortal Kombat ninja should be reflective of their overall color and design. And with pink being associated with love and lust, I think it works. With that in mind though, and knowing NetherRealm, and how they like to use older and existing assets, with their history of characters that have utilized photokinesis, like Cetrion and even Poison Ivy from Injustice, That is the simple and easy go-to avenue. So whilst I like the ability of endless excess being a part of his toolkit, which it still could be, the latter just makes more sense here. So with that said and everything covered here, what are your thoughts on Floyd? What do you think of his interesting naming convention and design? Please do comment down below, as I'd love to hear what you have to say. But most importantly, I do hope this has cleared up this character's very convoluted history, especially with news of him circulating over the last few weeks. So, for now everyone, that has been it for me, and as always, stay strong, stay well, and I'll catch you soon.